Yo, what's up, LA? Welcome into my first film study. We're going to give this a go. Excited to bring you something a little different. I've been talking about trying to do some film work on the LAFB Network YouTube for a while, and it's just been crazy. Just been busy. But I was able, and one of the big reasons why I haven't been able to, for those that listen to my show, the LA Football Podcast, myself, Frosty Rucker, I moved. My studio is now shared with my daughter's nursery, which is just, behind that wall there. So when she goes to bed, 7:30, I can't be working there. I have my whole recording studio set up. Can't be in there. Obviously, she's asleep. So I went, I built you obviously can't see it, but the laptop sitting on this folding desk in our bedroom that's literally by our back door here. I'm shoved in this corner. I literally just have a bar stool and this little folding piece of wood, laptop, camera, little microphone here. I'm like, all right, this will be the Diary Den, little makeshift studio here for these late night film sessions that we're going to do. So anyway, today we're going to go into some centers. I've been talking with a lot of Rams fans. Obviously, one of the Rams' biggest need is center after Austin Blythe signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. And so a lot of people have a lot of guys on their mind. I don't know if Les is going to go center at 57. If we know Les, he doesn't really go need. He always drafts differently, but let's get into it. Talk with my guy, Sly, think Blue 47 on Twitter. What up, bro? If you're watching, hopefully you are. Shout out to you. You inspired this. You're a huge offensive line guy. I love it, dude. You probably have a lot more knowledge about me. I'm going to be honest. My film study review is I'm a lot more honed in on quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs. Not great on the offensive lines. This is gonna be fun for me too. I'm learning. I'm just gonna tell you guys. I obviously pulled the film, and I kind of looked briefly through it as I was editing. But I'm going to be doing this all on the fly. So, hopefully it comes across as intelligent. But I'm just, I'm being real with you. We're doing a lot on the fly. So yeah, I think Blue 47, my man Sly. Thanks for inspiring me to do this, get into some center works. We're going to break down 3 centers. I know Quinn Miners is the favorite among Rams fans. Had a great Senior Bowl. He's got the belly. It just seems like an awesome guy. His stock is rising. He's a good player. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of game film, seeing he played at, Wisconsin Whitewater. Didn't play last year, due to COVID stuff for the, division smaller division football. So couldn't really find a lot on him. I could have done some Senior Bowl tape, but a lot of people have seen that already. So I'm like, you know what? I want to just get into actual game tapes. We're doing 3 guys. They're 3 of Sly's 5 favorite. Mine too, but he was the one that shouted him out. So we got Drew Dalman from Stanford, who he's going to be the last guy I got to get into because he's kind of growing on my wish list because obviously the connection there with the new, Rams offensive line coach Carberry. So we got him. We got Ryan McCollum out of Texas A&M, and then we do Josh Myers out of Ohio State. So yeah, should be good. Get into these guys, and like I said, hopefully you'll learn something. And this is just the first of many, hopefully, film studies, especially once the draft happens. All the guys the Rams pick, the Chargers pick. I'm going to get into all that. And Frosty wants to do some too, so I think we'll have a lot of fun with it. So quickly, new sponsor. We've been working on this for a while. I'm pretty excited. Sponsoring the LA Football Network. Going to sponsor this film session. Garrison Brothers Whiskey. If you've had it, it's delightful. Obviously, I've been tasting it. This is my own personal bottle, which we're going to be doing some cool stuff with. If you can see there, Los Angeles Football Network, Ryan Dyrud. We're going to do some cool stuff with these guys for the next month or so, or 2 months. So if you're a fan of whiskey, stay tuned. First of all, go buy it, Garrison Bros. Second of all, we'll be doing some cool stuff partnered with us that we can get you some whiskey as well. So shout out Garrison Bros, newest partner. Not even officially announced yet, but hey, I'm like, it's late. I've already had some myself. We're doing this film session, so I'm just going to shout them out. So all right, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get into this. Let's see how this goes, shall we? All right, so we're going to come over here. So yeah, like I said, we're going to start with Josh Myers, number 71. So if you're visual, need the numbers, but he's 6'5", 312, big for a center, guys. That's good size there. Most centers are around, I think, the 6 foot to 6'3" range. Austin Blythe is a much smaller guy. So that's a big body right there. Okay, this first rep, and I'm going to do this a lot, kind of go back slowly. This is against Penn State. Not the best first rep to get into. Let me just say this, because we have a really simple HB dive between the center and the guard in the A gap. He knows the play, right? The center is like the quarterback of the offensive line. He's right there when the quarterback's calling out who's blitzing, this and that. He's doing his own checks and stuff. And yet, so he knows, I don't know if you can see my hand, but he knows this running back is coming right between him and the guard. That's the play. And yet, right after he snaps, look where 97 is. 97 is on his outside left shoulder. All he has to do is keep him right there. And it's an easy gaping hole. Instead, for some reason, he steps way overboard to his left. 97 jumps. I don't know if he saw something or just that was the swim move he wanted to use to kind of get past him. Jumps to his left. And so because, Myers overcompensated, now he's on, his wrong shoulder. And he's literally right where the running back is. Like, if this guy made a play, this is blown up for a loss. Now, he gets lucky here because there's a huge hole to the running back's right, and so he's able to kind of avoid 97. Josh Myers gets away with a little bit of a handhold here, and so he still ends up making a positive gain. And so if you weren't really breaking this down, you wouldn't think anything of it. But yeah, not a great first play. Definitely gets a hold there. I mean, this could easily right here. That's going to be called in the NFL. I'm actually kind of surprised that was missed. Because you can see a jersey tug there. You can see the change of direction from 97. But yeah, just really an easy play that he missed there. So I'm a positive guy. He's starting with a negative. That's the first play. So yeah, let's see where we go from there. So I get, just so you know, for Josh Myers, I get 2 games. We get Penn State here, and I get into the Clemson Sugar Bowl game. And he's got a lot of really good tape here. So here we are, a goal line situation. He's got, he got an extra tight end out there, just a 4-man front with the typical base package here, pretty much for Penn State. So he's, hat in a hat with 55, probably has some help as well. And, pretty typical easy play for the center, just get your, but he does get the second level here. And I just think if again, we're being critical here, 55 is pretty tied up here. You give him a good little chip, and then you got to get 13. 13 is your guy. You're trying to get this gap right here for your running back to get through. That's literally the gap, right? 10 and 13 are your 2 guys on the second level that you as the offensive lineman. If you get your chip blocks, you get to the second level, and he's just a little slow in getting there. Now, it ends up being 10 being a more dynamic with the tackle, but 13 kind of slips underneath Myers. As you can see here, sorry, the video quality is not fantastic in this slow motion, but he slips under him, is able to get his legs, 10's right there. So, it's one of those plays, again, being overcritical, but if he would have just done a quick chip and then really drove through, 13's tiny compared to him. So, not a great first 2 snaps there, but hey, they get better, I promise you. Okay, so here we go. Another running play up the middle. These are what we care more about, because Ohio State when they do passing plays, you'll see they get rid of the ball so fast, it's hard to really analyze how the offensive line does. So here we go. Quick step off the snap. I do love that. He's quick off the snap. Like, boom. Look at this. Ball is gone. He's already making the steps there in unison. Look how nice that looks. In unison with the offensive line. I love that. Gets to 97. He's hat on a hat, shoulder to shoulder. I think I still would have liked to see him, keep 97 turn the other way longer. But, this is a play to kind of push everyone that way, as Justin Fields obviously keeps the ball and throws it out to the outside. So, yeah, not a bad rep there. Nice and quick. All right, these are all. I don't want to get too long-winded in all these, so I'll try to go through quicker. But these are ones you see a lot in the NFL when there's more offensive linemen than defensive linemen. So you get this scenario. You're kind of out in no man's land. So this is a good way to see, okay, are they looking for contact? Are they looking for the correct guy to go help with? Because obviously they're there to keep their gap, keep the pocket clean for their quarterback, but then they have to choose, okay, who's needing help in real time. So you see a lot, especially with running backs, you see a lot too, where they're like that extra blocker, and they end up saying like, okay, they get antsy. They go after the wrong guy, and then all of a sudden the other guy breaks breaks out of his block and makes the sack or makes the play. So you want to see here, does he go after the correct guy? And, where he's at, 97 obviously does a twist here to go to the outside. So he's not going to chase him over. These guys have it really maintained over here on the left side of the line. And then, 18 comes through on his twist, and he's right there for him. So I'd like to see that, kept where he needs to be, give enough time. Very clean pocket for Justin Fields. Good quick play there. I don't think we need to get into it too much. Snap the ball, get your guy to the outside. You got the run going up the left side between him and the guard. So this is what I wanted to see from that very first play, right? He's on the right shoulder here, on the correct shoulder here at 55, and just moves him out of the way. Completely moves him, and then it's not his responsibility anymore. Rep. All right, here we go. Pass pro. Again, you'll see a lot of these pass pros. It's just like, it's so quick. It's like you hope you can maintain your block this long. And even that, with how quick that was, it's like they got a good push there. Penn State, obviously, a very good rushing team. I think sometimes what you'll see with Josh, and I'm just being critical here. For his size, like if he were to maintain a lower base here, you got 97 coming, full steam ahead. Keep your base low, but he ends up looking like he's going to stand up in his stance there, get pushed back. I mean, he gets pushed back a good 3 yards almost. So he does fine. He established himself. He kind of saves face fine. But look where he's at there on the yardage mark right before, this hash right here. And he gets pushed back a good 3 yards from that bull rush from 97 right into Justin Fields' face. So he does well to keep it, but if he were to keep his base and his plant lower, easier said than done, obviously for me, being a small 5'7" guy, but that's what you'll see on the NFL level, what he'll need to improve on. But hey, positive yardage, good game, works. All right, here we go. Snap, shotgun, kind of, just, again, playing is maintained. Get the chips where they need them. Yeah, bang, bang, not nothing really get into there. Same thing. Most shotgun plays, you're going to see just, shotgun and, the center, especially in college formats, they don't have a specific, they just kind of keep their zone, keep their area. We'll get through the rest of this game because I want to get into the Clemson game, which is obviously a great game for Ohio State as an offense. This is one of those, you love this running play as an offensive lineman. Just freaking stick your face mask into the side of the player and drive into the dirt. You get your little chip block here from your guard. With the NFL, this could be high-low. If the rep's being real ticky-tacky, this could definitely be a high-low penalty. I think they get away from it here because the guard kind of disengages, but they take care of business. No penalty, positive yardage. Again, NFL, that might be a penalty, so that's something to. But that's more play design than it is like any mistake by any of them. All right, let's keep it moving here. Yeah, I do want to do this because it's about getting the second level, which is very important, especially in today's NFL. You have to be able to get to the second level as an NFL offensive lineman. So, you got your nose tackle right over you, zero tech right here, right over the ball, which can obviously be distracting, be hard to deal with. So snap the ball, gives him a good chip, and then he's immediately going to the second level because that's not his guy. Goes up, gets the linebacker, number 10, pushes him downfield, pushes him out of the frame. That you'd love to see. Big gain for a running back here. That's a great, great block for Josh Myers. Gets his chip on his guy, gets to the second level. Love to see that. Yeah, we'll just move on from this one. That was so quick. Got pushed back a little bit here on this run play. Would have loved to see him again, keeping that base a little more, but with the play design shifting so much to the left, you're moving your feet. But he did get driven off a little bit, so I don't know if there needs to be a little more. He's a big guy, 6'5", 330, but maybe a little more strength training, which he will certainly get at the NFL level. All right, so here we get into the Clemson game, which is a clinic for the Ohio State offense. Let's just get this first play, run it back a little bit here. So right after snap again, you have your moving left, Your double team, but 55 is looking at the second level, so he's sticking with this block here. Now look how he just sticks with it, drives him through. Now the running back probably could have gone a different route. I mean, there wasn't a lot here. That's not really the offensive line's fault. Clemson just plays it really well. They have basically every gap sealed. He probably could have cut on, Myers' right side here and maybe would be able to squeak. Obviously, his linebacker's crashing down, which is what he is trying to do, but he just kind of goes too slow. But anyway, Josh Myers, I think, has a good block there. Stays on his guy, even through the whistle, still on him. Good contact. So, yeah, you like to see that. Shotgun here. Yeah, same thing. Stays on his guy. Good rep there. Love that. Look at that good, hard first step and jab right off the bat. So this is where, as a center, you have to know your guy in every instance, obviously. I mean, that seems self-explanatory, but right off the snap, he knows his plays going over to the left. It's a designed QB run, kind of a designed option for Justin Fields here. So he just needs to clear this guy out. Give Fields either the center of the field or to move left. The left side of the line doesn't do a fantastic job. This guard pulling 52, is going to pull to try to contain that side. And he kind of doesn't pick anyone, misses the linebacker completely right there. So that's on him. But yeah, Myers is his job. What we got here? Little pass pro. Really good in pass pro. I love Josh Myers in pass pro. He's got really good light feet. You can see him shuffling here. So, okay, this is a huge hold. I don't know how this didn't get flagged. Huge hold here. But this is one of those tough plays for offensive linemen because obviously you're the center, you're snapping it. You got a lot going on. Look how the jump by the Clemson backer here is just, there's no way not to hold him. And somehow they did not get flagged for it. But look at the jump is great. There's really nothing Myers could have done. Like, if we're being ticky-tack, as soon as he snaps here, he's standing straight up. But yeah, I see even Clemson gives a little jump step to the right and then cuts back left. Look at that little juke move. So yeah, you can't really blame him for that. Just a guy that's faster. But he sticks to the play. Some fans hate holding calls, but it's like if he doesn't hold there, that's a sack. Instead, they don't call it, and you get a 30-yard gain up the side. So it ends up working out. A little jet option here, jet sweep. Good block there. Stays with this guy, drives him through. Basically, I think they ran like the same 3 plays here 3 times in a row. Just a little misdirection there. Same thing. Just kind of get to the second level here. Misses guy though. He had the backer here. That was his guy the whole time. Knew it from the snap. 47's his guy. So you just need to see a little better there, engaging. But obviously, that's a good linebacker there that knows how to avoid a big offensive lineman. But you just never really, just bad pursuit, right? Like if he sticks on 55's hip right there, he's going to give him a lot better shot than if he starts drifting upfield. So you need to get a little better in his angles there on the second level. But overall, I think there we go. Like it. Get some contact for me. Well, Justin Fields throw. That's one of those throws. Game time, great throw, but that's where you see this paralysis by over analysis by all these analysts now. Justin Fields dropping down boards and it's throws like that. They're like, if they would have let him correctly, it would have been a touchdown. Instead, he fades him off. Yeah, it's true, but I don't think you're dropping this guy past, Mac Jones because of that. Come on. All right, what we got here? Just another looks like a dive up the middle here. So they're trying to clear out this middle right beneath the sky cam there. And, gets his guy. Looks like the running back cuts back there, so ends up getting a loss. But I don't think that was on Myers at all. This would look like it was a design screen. It broke down a little bit, so Fields ended up running it. But There we go. Good in the traffic there. Touchdown. There's a lot of good things that Myers does. I think his size, he's going to do really well at the NFL level because of his size. Like I said, 6'5", 330 for a center. It's a big boy. That's more guard size, which he could certainly play guard. If the Rams took him, obviously they need a center, so I think that's where they want to keep him. But yeah, he does a lot of good things well. I just think you want to see a little more work with his ankles on the second level. Keeping his base center of gravity and keeping a lower base, even though sometimes you see that a lot with bigger guys where they're reliant so much on just strength and size, they lose technique. In the NFL, that's what makes Aaron Donald so good, right? Like Aaron Donald, no one really talks about that, but his shortness he uses to his advantage because he's a shorter defense lineman. Obviously, he's like superhuman strength, but as a D tackle, he's kind of a smaller frame for a D tackle. And so he's able to use that leverage to get, these big offensive linemen, these big guards, he stands them up and blows them back. And so you have to keep that center of gravity. So that's something that Josh Myers will have to work on certainly. But, as a second, third round prospect, it's not something that's like a, game changer, something you don't want to take a guy with. So, all right, let's look at Ryan McCollum now. Not as much film on these next two guys. So hopefully, stick with me. Hopefully you guys are, learning something so far. But I like Ryan McCollum a lot. Texan AM, 6'5", 300, so about 20 to 30 pounds lighter than Myers. Same height, though. Yeah, so let's get into see what he does. Kellen Mond's his quarterback. I remember going through this and just seeing a lot of good throws. So, yeah, you'll see a lot. I mean, with centers, there's only so much we can really dive into because it's like, okay, hit your guy, stay on your block. Here you go, the snap to get the double team. Kind of a weird. I don't know if the running back chose the wrong hole there, or just no, that's definitely where they wanted. The fullback went right through it. I just think you want to see the guard, pull around to the other side, and they kind of end up going all pushing the same direction. Hey, positive yards. Nothing there for McCollum to be really critiqued on. You got zero tech right here, nose tackle right above him. See, again, here we go. This is the big thing for centers. It's tough, especially when you're that big. That's why you see a lot of centers that are a little shorter because they're going from a squatting stance. What I want to see from these centers is when Ryan snaps the ball here, stay in that, like barely pop up. You have a zero tech nose tackle that's going to be driving straight into you. All the force pushing you back because you're snapping and you're moving backwards. So he's just going to use that leverage against you and push you back. So I want to see him keep that balance, keep that low center of gravity to avoid that. You see him, boom, stand up right there. And part of that's just, good Florida Gator nose tackle. He gets pushed back, almost falls over. Good on him for, keeping his balance. He does, he stays with it. Now, I gets right in Kellerman's face. Luckily, the ball gets out quick, though. So, not the best pass pro there. Again, being really nitpicky, it's easy to do, when you put this down in ultra slow motion like I'm doing, frame by frame. But that's what you want to see from a center is keeping that center of gravity when he snaps the ball so you don't have a guy punching through and pushing you back into your quarterback. So, but we do get a positive or dropped ball, but would have been a positive gain here. Yes, that's kind of an easy patty cake block. The guy was kind of going to the outside there. There's nothing really to get into much. So here we go. Zero take. This is where you'll see a lot of, I think criticism, at least from me, is you have the zero tech guys on you because then you're hat in the hot straight up. So are you getting pushed back? Are you doing the pushing forward? Are you maintaining your center of gravity? And here, does a much better job. Obviously gets help from his guard, but, stays in there. And you get a beautiful pass from Kellerman there. Whew. Great looking ball. All right, here we go to the second level. Play ends up going the opposite way. So I'm not going to get too much into it because it really doesn't go. But he got there quick. That's what I like to see. Got a one tech here on his right shoulder. snap, and he's chipping, and then immediately go to the second level. So I'm not sure why Mond ran outside there, but great play by McCollum. He did his job. Gave his chip, got to the second level quick. That's what I like to see. Same here. Completely missed his chop block. The effort was there. It's hard to do a chop when the guy's running a different direction than you. Snap, and he's immediately going. He knows his assignment. That's his guy. And just whiffs completely, unfortunately. And that's the guy that makes the tackle. So those are what you don't want to see from your center or from any offensive line, to just completely whiff on his assignment, because that's usually the guy that makes the tackle. Okay, not bad. They're staying in the middle. Touchdown. Nice and quick, like I said. College quarterbacks now, they're getting the ball really quick. Again, getting stood up here, but because of his strength, strong dude, good size, like I said, it stood up a little bit, but look he barely loses ground. If any, he ends up gaining ground afterwards. So that's a great counter there. Like to see that. Here we are at I don't know what yard line this is. I'm not zoomed out, but just look at the solid line. He's, a couple inches above it. Immediately gets pushed back behind it, and then counters and ends up above it again. So that I like to see a lot. Good response. Still want to see that center of gravity through the whole play, but hey, good counter there. Yeah, okay, not bad in pass pro here. I don't know how he's assigned to the whoever kind of comes up the middle. Basically, it's like you're guarding your gap. Whoever twists off their blocker and comes, that's who he gets. So you get the D tackle here that ends up going straight up the middle. Able to maintain again, just keep that lower. I'd like to see. But overall, stays with him, keeps the pocket clean. Yes, they get in Mon's face, but hey, the pocket's clean. You're able to get out of it, get positive gain. Not too bad. How we doing, guys? How we feeling? How we doing? So let's get a little whiskey break here, a little Garrison Bros break. When I do these by myself, the throat starts to really dry out. All right. Yeah, quick throw. We don't need to get into it. Just sometimes it's so quick. It's like you better be able to maintain a block when it's that quick. All right, here we go. Getting to the second level again. Not too bad. Wasn't his guy. All right, looking around. We get 17 off. I like that. Look at this. 17 tries to spin off of him. Stays with him really well. So he makes contact here. Running, to his left. Then he's going to spin to his right, try to spin off it. I know the ball is getting released there anyway, but look, Ryan's got a great, base on him, pushes him out of the way. So that's a really, really solid off a swim. I like that. All right, so yeah, Ryan McCollum, man, I was at just one game, but I think overall, he's a really good prospect. I like his size. A little lighter on his feet, I think, than Josh Myers. We saw him get, stood up a few times, but he countered back really well. Between the two, I like both prospects a lot. I would have zero problem with either of them. I'd probably lean maybe a little McCollum. I just think he's like I said, a little quicker on his feet. Gets that second level a little quicker. There's that one really bad play where he just completely whiffs. But overall, I think his anticipation getting there is good. We looked at less plays, so it's easier to be more critical of Josh Myers because there were just more plays to critique. I like what McCollum was able to do, just in the pocket, countering, against the swing move and stuff, or against the spin move. So, I like both guys, but I think I'd kind of lean a little McCollum right now, just from seeing that. But let's get to Drew Dalman. So Drew Dalman obviously played at Stanford. His coach at Stanford, Carberry, is now the offensive line coach for the Rams. So this is a growing connection where I don't think Dalman's going to be a second-round pick. Probably won't be a third-round pick. So the Rams might be saying, and Carberry might be telling, Les Snead and Sean McVay, hey, I want this kid. I'm not saying let's just wait because someone might snatch him, but I don't think we need to take him the second so we can address another need or take a BPA and then let this kid fall to us, and we're going to get great value out of him. I know exactly how to coach him. So I think this is a guy that I'm kind of starting to lean towards because of that coaching connection. So 6'3", 300. Obviously, he's going to be smart. Played at Stanford. Stanford's produced a lot of good offensive linemen. Against our Bruins, sorry, that was one tape I could find against our UCLA Bruins. So number 51, obviously, snapping the ball. Yeah, it's a pretty bang play. Guy doesn't really rush that much. Just keeping his hips straight, maintaining guy. All right, now so Stanford, in my opinion, runs a lot more like pro style offense, I would say, than Ohio State and Texas A&M. So for an offensive lineman jumping from college to the pros, I think that does benefit them, at least in the short term, of the learning curve, especially with now how much virtual off seasons are. Once these guys are drafted, they may not even go to the facility until training camp. So being able to have your quarterback under center, that's a relationship center quarterback, and being used to that from the college level, I think does help Dalman's case a little bit too, because I know McVay doesn't run a ton of under center, but he does run some. Any NFL team is going to run some. And, centers like McCollum and centers like Myers probably didn't do any snapping under center. It was all shotgun. So, take that for what it will. I know it's, these guys learn it's not a huge deal. And the long term, that's definitely not a determinant. But if you're looking at this season right now, Rams trying to win the Super Bowl, you want your quarterback center relationship to be, off and running right away. And so I think that does help Dalman a little bit there. So anyway, take that for what it is. So here we are under center. I'll snap here, directing traffic. A lot of mud there. Just not a lot to get into. I would have liked to seen him maybe stick with a block. It looks like he kind of gets lost here a little bit at the second level. Right after the snap, goes, again, quick to the second level, but you have this backer coming all the way over here. You really want to see him. 51, here he goes. All right, it looks like a little late to get there, or maybe it was just, and then push him out. It's not his guy that makes a tackle, so, not a horrible wrap, not the best. You still get positive yardage. Here we go, a little counter play to the right. Keeps this guy to the left. Good rep there. Little shotgun here. Okay, so here, looks like he was a little late deciding. So you got a Oso Odigizua here, number 92, coming from the guard. Gets held by the guard here at 66. Should have been holding there. Now Dalman's deciding, do I help with blocking Osa, or is this backer from the second level rushing also? You can see his head. He's looking at the backer. Last second sees Osa and says, oh shit, I gotta help this guy because he's coming barreling up the middle. So he tries to get over there. Ends up getting knocked down. Osa's just, he's gonna be a great NFL player. He's gonna be drafted. Still getting held. Quarterback gets it off with him right in his face. Makes a fantastic throw here. So all that's for moot. You never know. They didn't even call holding there, which is shocking to me. Dalman, just indecisive there. If the backer was coming, if he's going to help there. So definitely not a great rep by him. You wanted to see him. I mean, he had no one blocking at the moment, so he could have easily chipped Osa, gave him a shoulder, could have given his quarterback more time, but no holding was called. Get a big play down the middle. You're in the red zone. All right, here we are with the running play. Doesn't get to his guy quick enough, which is shocking considering he's right there. I mean, the play is going to the right here. All you got to do is keep your guy to the left. Basically, just turn your hip, stand in front of him. But he gets kind of off-centered, and the guy gets right around him. And, anytime you see your offensive lineman standing over the pile where the ball carrier is, it's usually not a good thing. So you got your center there and your guard there, standing over about 4 UCLA Bruins that made the tackle. So what does Stanford do on this play? They say, let's run the exact same thing and seeing how far offensive line can improve. Where's Dalman? Look how quick he gets this time. Snap, blur. He is through there. Look at him. Hat in the hat, containing his guy, keeping him through the whole way. Where's our running back going? Boom. Look at that beautiful hole. Look at that. Ends up getting tackled down at the 1, but hey, it's a good rep. Dalman's still over here with his guy. Much better, much improved. That's what we want to see. There's going to be bad reps. It's going to happen. But how do they improve? They ran the same play there. Big improvement. Positive yardage. Gets to the 1 yard line. Now here, I'm guessing you just got, 2 tight ends there. You're just going to bull rush. Stay on your guy. Boom. Stands up. Running back gets in. Not great push, but he didn't really push back. So there you go. Zero tech. This is a super quick play. Bang, bang. But just look at this really good drive of the ball. Snap. This is what I was talking about with McCollum. Remember how McCollum gets stood up here? Look at how good center of gravity Dalman has. Boom, right on him. Never gets pushed back. You like to see from your center. A little screen, positive yards. Let's see if he gets stood up here. Zero tech right over him on the shotgun. See, look at that. That's what I like to see. Snap. Look how much lower he is than the rest of the offensive linemen. If you can look at that parallel, he's keeping that low center of gravity, chopping his feet. Look at his feet as we frame by frame, chop, 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 chop. Maintains, gets pushed back a little bit, but the pocket maintains good exposure there. Good clean pocket for the quarterback. Positive gain. Whoa. The ball a little high, but a good catch there. Right, here we are under center again. Looks like it was like 3rd and 1. So a QB sneak. All right, so he's at no zero tech. Looks like almost like a 3 tech. Guys are way outside here. Looks like his guy's probably the linebacker number 40 or 21, depending on the play. Okay, we're going to do a counter to the outside. He gets that second level. So he gets to 40 right away. Keeps on the outside. Good job. Here he is way over here. Running back, it's a big game. Good play there. Good rep. Good rep. Here we are again. Looks like, 3 tech. Gets on Osa right there, who's a good rusher. Maintains him. Great touch pass there from the quarterback all the way down to the 1 yard line again. Here we are on goal line. Just a little bull rush. Runs to the other side. Love to see it. Not bad. Here we are on the opposite goal line. Getting out of our end zone. This is where, critical to get a good push. You cannot get pushed back in this scenario. So no one's on him. 3 tech. Linebacker's probably his guy, or just to push the, where the guard is. Basically, that play is just designed to get everyone to that side. The running back's just going to flood up the middle, get you out of the end zone. Here we go. Zero tech, hat in a hat. Quarterback under center. Sheds 91. I try to get to the second level. Doesn't quite get there, but, get a good positive gain there. These are one of these run plays where the hole is created with just how much movement. Look at the entire offensive line shifting. And so you're just giving your running back, hey, look for a tunnel. Be able to get positive yards. There we go. Shotgun. Yeah, just a little, help your buddy. Maintain. Keep your hole. Keep your gap solidified, safe. Here again, turned his hips right away. I like this. As soon as he's snapped, he knows the ball. This is, again, the play. You know where it's going, right? Ball's going to your left. Let's make our life easier. Snapped, turn the hips, immediately turn to the left. So no one's getting by you that way. If you're trying to block a guy straight up, you're going to end up holding him. So this is how you really counter holding a guy. Just immediately turns the hips. Now his guy is completely out of the play. This guy was not blocked well. Running back needs to play a play, but now, that's a bad poor job by the tackle there. Good job by Dalman, though. That's who we're looking at. Zero tech over him, right over the ball. Snap, keeps his center of gravity good. Good clean pocket. Positive gain. So there you have it. There you have it. I like Drew Dalman a lot. I think if you are able to get him in, the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, 3rd might be a little rich, but, 4th or 5th, he's going to be a good center. So Rams fans, I just want to make very clear, if the Rams don't take a center in the 2nd round, don't freak out. If they don't take a center in the 3rd round, don't freak out. Knowing Les Snead, they might not take a center. They may think Brian Allen's their center. They may just want to move Austin Corbett over, play center. Talking to Andrew Whitworth, last week, they have a lot of guys. They just want to be able to, shuffle around and really keep the cohesion as a unit, but not necessarily have them pigeonholed to positions. So they may feel comfortable with who they have. But the more I'm watching these guys and the more I'm watching Drew Dalman, who has a relationship with the offensive line coach, the more I really like the idea of him being that draft pick in the 4th or 5th. And you can get who I love, a guy like Dimitri Felton, who we just had on the LA Football Podcast today. Make sure to check that out with Frosty Rucker and myself. But you can get a guy like Dimitri in the 2nd or 3rd round because you're not pigeonholed to just taking the center available for you. And I think you can get Dalman later. So all these 3 guys I like. I think I'd be good with the Rams taking any of them. I think they could be an impact player, a year 1 starter, or at least a really quality depth guy if they don't start right off the bat. But yeah, I think Dalman is a guy I'm kind of falling in love with. Just seeing that center of gravity he's able to do, the size being a more traditional 6'3" as opposed to 6'5", which I know sounds weird. You maybe want a bigger guy, but I just think coming from the stance of snapping, it's more important to be able to keep a better center of gravity than having to, the taller guys getting up. You end up getting pushed back. And so I think that Dalman has the better center of gravity. I like the way he moves his hips. He gets to the second level quick. Played in a pro-style offense or a more pro-style offense, so, having the quarterback under center. So, yeah, happy with him, but Drew Dalman, I think, is where I'm leaning. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. First film review, I probably went longer than planned. Usually I feel like these film reviews are, 10 to 20 minutes. I'm sure I went like 40 because I talk. Big thanks to Garrison Bros. Make sure to check out, like I said, Garrison Bros, our newest partner on the LA Football Network. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at LAFB Network. We're going to be doing some fun stuff with this company in the coming months. So stay tuned for that. We got the draft in 1 week. 1 week till the draft. Can't wait. It feels like we've been doing stuff like this forever, but looking forward to that. We're going to be doing some fun stuff on draft night, so stay tuned also. So anyway, guys, cheers. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's see what the Rams do. But those are your centers that I like. Big thanks again to Sly, my man, on Twitter for, giving me his top 5. But yeah, Drew Dalman. That's what I want to see. Let's see Drew Dalman and Rams uni. Cheers.